Hi, baby. You probably know what this is if you're viewing this, but I decided I wanted to make a little playthrough series. If you'd like to watch it, feel free not to if it's not your thing. But yeah, I just wanted to make this for you, baby. Also, if anybody else sees this, because as far as I know, it's going to be public. This is going to be a playthrough of Bloodborne for my fiance, and if my mom wants to watch it, she could too, I suppose. But this is mainly for my fiance. So yeah. I really, really hope you like this, Nana. This is honestly my favorite game. It is the one of the darkest, but like most interesting world building, like basically one of the most interesting stories and worlds I've ever seen created. And I'm really excited to show it to you. I'll try not to talk during actual cutscenes, but otherwise I'll just speak like normal. And I really hope you like this, Nana. Here we go.
Oh, yes. Pale blood. Well, you've come to the right place. Yarnum is the home of blood ministration. You need only unravel its mystery. But where's an outsider like yourself to begin? Easy, with a bit of Yarnum blood of your own. But first, you'll need a contract.
Okay, so this is the character creation. I've already kind of got my character planned, so I'll just quickly fill this out. I'm gonna go with the name Samantha Key because pretty, and also it's nice. I like it. Okay, want to play as a female. These are basically tiny backstories you can choose for my character. Basically, there's someone who has high skill, which is like dexterity, fast movement, and it's more finesse than strength, is basically the kind of character I'm going to be playing. Okay, I already have an appearance ready, so I'll just load it. There it is. And I really, really hope you like this, Nana. I'm so excited to show you this game. Here we go. Also, any screens like this you see are just like little bits of lore. Oh, here we go. I think. Okay, little bits of lore you can read during the loading. I don't know why
Good.
it's taking. Oh,
All signed and sealed. Now, let's begin the transfusion. Oh, don't you worry. Whatever happens, you may think it all a mere bad dream.
Ah, you found yourself a hunter.
So that was fun. I love how few questions at the beginning of this game answers. So the way I see it, every bit of this game can be taken quite literally. I would say this first part is probably the first part you just saw was probably a kind of a fever dream induced by the transfusion you just had, or the character just had. But it is incredibly symbolic, and it'll come up later. But otherwise, everything in the game that you see, I would say you could take 100% literally. They may have meanings to them as well, but yeah. So right now, you know as much as our character knows. If we go into the reading the closed description, we know that we don't come from here. The city that we're in is called Yarnum, but we are an outsider. But we have no idea why. We don't know why we're here, and we don't remember pretty much anything. So literally whatever you see in the game is everything the character knows. So that's pretty fun. Okay. So we wake up and we see this note. It says, "Seek pale blood to transcend the hunt." That's the only kind of clue we have to go on right now. It doesn't say it here, but in the Japanese text, it points out that you are the one that wrote this, that the player recognizes that is their own handwriting, but they don't remember writing it because they have no memory now. Okay, so here we go. So the first things we see are these weird little creatures holding what looks like some kind of paper. If you view it, it'll basically have a message on it. This will be explained later, but basically these things can either carry messages from other players, since it's a very community-focused game, and we kind of teach each other the things we found. Some people troll each other that way, of course, but these few notes at the very beginning are pretty much all from the developers, just teaching you how to play, so I'm going to ignore them. Alright, the first thing we see in here is a beast, much like we saw in our fever dream, eating the guy who gave us the transfusion. So there goes our answers. Alright, let's see if we can kill this. Right now we have no weapons, so we're just going to hand-to-hand and see if we can beat this guy. Hello. This is actually a really tough opponent for a beginner. So what I'm trying to do now is I want to get behind him, because there's a special kind of attack you can do where you have to charge up for a second. But if it lands, you will basically stun your opponent long enough, there we go, for you to reach your arm into it and just rip out chunks of flesh and bone. And usually that kills them, like unless it's really strong. That's a really good way to kill enemies. Okay, what we get? Blood vials. Now, we won't be able to read the lore on these until a little bit later, but more or less, the transfusion you had healed some kind of ailment that you were carrying, some kind of fatal ailment, and every time you inject blood now, it heals you by recalling the memory of the potency of the first transfusion, and that somehow heals your body. It's really weird and a little bit esoteric, I think, but it'll make a bit more sense later on. But blood has kind of become your sustenance now, kind of like a vampire or something. I really like that. I like the way this game does about everything they do. Quicksilver bullets also, they don't have... I can't currently access the lore, but basically, since Quicksilver is mercury, they're mercury bullets mixed with your own blood, and if you can get more by sacrificing health. Like right now, I just got a bunch of my own blood, and I'm mixing it with mercury, so I have 5 extra shots. But I have less health, obviously, so that's kind of a trade-off. But it's really useful to use that so you don't waste all your bullets. Also, I love the Gothic architecture, excuse me, in the city of Yarnum. More blood vials. If we notice also, there's caskets and there's, like, what do you call them, carts and stuff just lining the streets. So whatever happened here, people only had time to shove shit where they could and like get moving. It basically, it looks like whatever happened here, they didn't have time to properly deal with it. Okay, this guy might be no, he should be fine. Might be a little difficult though. If you notice, he actually has quite a bit of hair growth. Oh, I died. That was kind of important, but I'll say more about that after the loading screen. Basically, he said something about us being a cursed beast, but obviously it was him himself that looked beastly and insane. So it's very interesting to note that what we've just seen is, it makes people believe others are beast. Oh, sorry. Okay, so a quick recap. I just died. I got ripped apart, and now I find myself awake and alive in this weird place. It's called the Hunter's Dream. I won't say much more until it talks about it itself, but this strange, otherworldly looking place apparently takes us when we should die. And as you'll see in a few moments, it will let us return to the world of the living. This will be a very important place later on, and now, really. But I'm trying to make each of these recordings about 12 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and have to cut this one off. But I will continue right after. I hope you like this, Nada. I love you.